What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Battle of the Sexes, where we pick a topic. We might agree, we might not agree, but we're going to discuss amongst the panelists, hear all the insights and their perspectives. With all that said, let's go ahead and get to the first topic. Let's go.
Who is better at communication, men or women?
Women.
Women are better at communication.
We don't know how to communicate sometimes, we say, yeah, I'm fine, but that means
So then how are women better at communication?
Because men don't communicate.
Women, for sure.
If men are worse at communication, why do so many women expect men to read their body language rather than just be direct?
Oh my God. I don't know.
Are men expected to be mind readers?
Yes.
Is there a difference between what women say that they want in a relationship and what they actually respond to?
Absolutely.
If so, how are women better at communication?
We're not.
But you just said that they were.
I lied. Clearly, I'm not communicating well. Duh.
Women are absolutely better at communicating than men. And there are some, but this is like not a total, one community, one gender fits all. I find that women are better communicators than men. I think that I found that guys kind of bottle things up and just feel like they go with the flow, or they think that's helping and they shut their mouths about certain things that might be bothering them. And then later on down the line, when they hit this midlife crisis, and then it's like all this confession comes out, but you wasn't aware. So I do personally believe that women, matter of fact, I think we talk too much sometimes, but we communicate a lot, over communicate. And I think that men sometimes feel like if they stay quiet, that means that they're being peaceful, but they still have issues that's going on, and they just go through it and don't communicate whatever they feel like they need. So I do believe that.
Okay. All right. What y'all think?
I think women are better talkers. But all talking isn't communication. Just because you say a lot of stuff doesn't mean you're communicating. You're just kind of talking. I think men are better communicators because we're more direct and we're only going to talk about the subject. I feel women, when they're doing their communication, air quotes, they're all over the place and they don't follow a simple train of thought. I think men are better communicators because we can follow a straight line and just stay on topic. Women are everywhere.
What you think? What you think, Boogie? What you think, Sean?
I agree with bro, man. Men keep it simple. You know what I'm saying? We communicate in simplicity. So a lot of times we don't, now I don't want to repeat what he said though, but I'm gonna go to what Nate was saying about the communication and how we bottle things up. A lot of times we bottle things up because we feel like we're not being listened to. A lot of times we have to repeat ourselves over and over again just to feel like we're being understood. So when it comes to women being better communicators, again, I don't think they're better communicators because they communicate more. It's again, they just talk more. But women's communication is attached to their feelings. So they feel day to day. So they may communicate one thing today and communicate another thing tomorrow, which a lot of times confuses us. And so when we talk, it gets lost in all of that confusion. Okay. So most of the time we bottle things up because we're not being heard. The funny thing is he only asking women. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
you get so I'm like, what are men that ask the men the same thing?
Right.
So yeah, man, and the responses, you can see the responses. It's kind of like it's self-explanatory with the responses. The girl says, yeah, we are better. Then she ended up saying, nah, we're not better. And then she said, well, I thought you said men were better or you were better communicators. She said, well, I lied. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times while women are communicating, sometimes they get caught up in what they're saying and then they're not honest. Okay, so that's bad communication altogether. Men are more direct and more honest. So even though we don't express a lot, we don't waste talk when we do express our feelings. So
okay, all right. So with all that said, before Boogie get into it. Nate, what's your rebuttal to Mac and Sean Wong?
That's why we have a bad stigma with that. That women are. That's why I have to. If you don't learn how to not be emotional, you can't just be talking just to get words. Women do have a bad reputation for that. I don't like that. I like to say, especially with raising boys, I needed to make sure that I said what I said, meant what I said, and I carried it through. So I do understand, because a lot of women, that because we are emotional creatures, that it is, we change our mind. And sometimes we can say this one day, or women can say this one day, and the next day it could change. But that is a mood disorder. I don't have a mood disorder. So if I say I do not want this, I already thought about it. I already meditated on it. I already prayed on it, and I know exactly. I won't change my mind on that. Now, when it comes to that, I already know. I told my sister, and I'm not trying to be funny. I told her years ago that I'm just gonna have a dude personality, where like you guys are, for the most part, you're clear. You want to be heard. Most of the time, I hear people our age talking about, "I ain't never changing." Okay, well, let's join the club. We ain't changing. So I just feel like when you know what you want and you say what you mean and you mean what you say, then and it's not, and you already, got quiet from it and thought about it. I think that if more women did that, we wouldn't have that reputation of just wasting words. And we
Okay.
ain't got time to be wasting words. So I do understand what both of you guys are saying. We do
Hey,
have that.
can I say something else too, Greg? I think that men need to practice more at expressing themselves, because when you bottle things up, you got this thing now. We got the what they call the red pill community.
Yeah, yeah.
See, that's a product of men bottling up their feelings. So now you got you got men just really, really, we're trying to medicate that right now online by just saying anything. So a lot of that is due to us bottling things up. So I think we need to practice more expressing ourselves too.
No, I get you. I get that. What you got, Boogie?
A lot was said on both sides. So the initial question was, who's a better communicator, a man or a woman? And I think Mac, as well as Sean, they said enough for that part. Mine is going to be more inquisitive, because with everything that was said, my question now is back to Nay. Do you still, because it's not, is Nay a better communicator than men that she's come across? It's, are women or men better communicators? As a whole, why do you still think that women, not you, women are better communicators?
Yes, I still think that women are better communicators.
Why?
I think that women are better communicators because when they are, even if you guys are annoyed, even if a man is annoyed that she changes her mind, she still communicated that in order for her to change her mind. That can be frustrating, but I have found that there has been moments where it could be a month or two, where this thing has happened like 2 months ago, and all of a sudden a man teapot has like went overboard, and they're
Teapot.
bringing up, yeah, a teapot. It
Crazy.
went overboard, and they are talking about an incident that happened 2 months ago, that I'm like, wait, what are we talking about? And it's like, remember when you said, and then I want to hear what you're talking about, but can you give me a moment to remember this crap that you're talking about 2 months ago? I just don't feel like that we're not listening to you. It's just that because you bottled it up
So
for
you're
two
going.
months.
I
So
don't.
women are great communicators. It's just, yes, I believe women are communicators. We just over communicate, like
So
I just did.
that's what. So you're saying that women are, the volume of the communication equates to it
Yeah,
being, equates to it being better.
Yeah,
Although
it
let me, because I let y'all cook.
it's like
The
confusion isn't
volume
good
of the
communication.
communication equates to more quality, a higher quality of communication. I totally disagree. I feel like
Yeah,
Yeah, there are some men who bottle things up and possibly hold things back because the juice is not worth the squeeze at the moment, and
The squeeze.
maybe they are trying to uh, keep the peace, if you will. But in general, and I find this not, and I'm going to speak outside of like just romantic relationships, men and women, even as it pertains to sometimes corporate environments or leadership roles,
Work. Yeah.
it gets convoluted, and decisions sometimes are made based upon emotions, and the communication typically, if it's changing, especially when you're talking about in a corporate environment or a business environment or something where you need to have a clear objective, I find that men communicate clear objectives a lot better. Where this isn't just as it pertains to romantic entanglements. This is as it pertains
Right.
to communication, period. Whether that be in politics, business, romance, and sometimes even with parenting. I've had multiple instances that I could cite growing up as a child where my dad, he came in, he gave a clear directive. Those were your marching orders. There wasn't anything else to really talk about. My mother, she's going to throw in a whole bunch of other things that have nothing to do with what it is that she needs you to get done because she has her emotions involved in it. So as a child, you're hearing all this and it can become confusing. We're only looking at it in a one-dimensional type of thing if we're looking at it strictly through romance. It's just, are women or men better communicators? Most of the times, kids can be more confused by what their mama want than what their daddy want.
I don't know this world you
Agreed.
guys are talking about. I feel for you guys. I have no idea what this world.
Pray
I
for
really feel
us.
for you guys.
Pray,
Yeah,
pray
I
for
do not.
us.
I mean,
I hear what you
even
guys are saying.
so I have a question for you then, because you talk to other women, right?
No, that's probably my
So
issue.
that skews your perspective if you do not interact with enough
Right, that's why I said
women.
I have no idea. I feel for you guys.
You have sisters, right?
I don't
Of
talk to
females in the
all my
family.
sisters, and I
But
don't know them on that note. I don't know y'all experience. I find that women communicate better. That's my experience. I don't know. I find that there has been, I'm not trying to be funny, but there has been men that in my family that I look to that was in a marriage for a long time. And then when they reached to this midlife crisis, they had all these grievances that they did not disclose in a marriage. And they have left a marriage for 20 something years. And then I've had conversations with them like, why did you leave? And then, or what was the issue? And it was certain things that was going on within the relationship that was not conveyed in order to get handled because they remained silent. So I'm telling you from my experience, I don't know what you're talking about. But
I
I
get that, and
cannot
that's fair.
deny that. I hear
That's
what
From
you
my
guys are
experience,
saying.
I don't bottle anything up. Maybe
yeah, I don't either. You're gonna know the first
I'm not
time
a
I don't like
bottler up.
something,
I just
you
say
know
what
immediately.
I mean and mean what I say. Yeah. I'm not
So,
good with holding my stuff back. I
so
don't even
would
want
it
to
be
keep the
fair?
peace.
Would it be fair to say, Nay, would it be fair to say that you don't have a large enough sample size to adequately say that definitively women are the better communicators? Because you've just of your own admission, you don't talk to that many women or interact with a lot of them.
I didn't do a poll like you guys did in the poll, so we're going off of three guys.
I haven't done a poll.
But
This is just my life.
I'm saying my life is I do have sisters, and I do have sisters, and I have most of my friends was males. And I have found talking to males that you guys are not great communicators. And sometimes when I was talking to males before, and I prefer guys to have as friends. And when I speak
Because
to
women
them,
don't communicate well.
no, I just
Women don't even like working for other women. Women usually like
I
working
prefer
for a man.
males. I find males because you guys are, yeah, but I have the men that I did talk to that I was associates with will rely on me and tell me certain stuff. And I would say, well, did you just communicate that to them? And sometimes they think that being quiet means they're keeping peace while they suffer. And I just don't believe in that. So no,
We
I still
agree.
stand on the women are better communicators.
Oh, okay. Well, you keep going back to men, but saying that they hold things in, but your sample size of even the men you're talking about, the examples you're giving, sounds like these are people who are in your family because you're talking about men who
Yeah,
may have.
family.
Well, I interact with a larger demographic than just my family, so I'm not basing this in my family. My sister is pretty blunt and good communicator, and so am I. Maybe that's
Over the
just our
place.
family. Maybe that's just our family. But even when I get out, I'm taking it away from family because even within a family, there's going to be a certain kind of communication you have with siblings and family, and you will have a different kind of communication maybe with people outside in the workforce, uh, outside in other activities. So
Yeah, what
it's
about at
kind of
jobs? Are they
it's
better
like it's
communicate? Yeah.
yeah. There's
Take your sister for example. Her no is no, her yes is yes. I'll
I know
communicate. She's not right. So
she
that's an
she
example.
we come from
My
the same
other
parents.
sister is like right. So I'm saying, my other sister is just like that. She's like, no, that's not gonna work for me. I'm not doing it. That's you, Shanae. I'm not doing that. And the people that I talk to, we're not all over the place. I couldn't even talk to a female that's all over the place. The person at the place that I work, the managers that I have had some men that was they when they are the manager or they're overseeing the department that I'm in, their communication is not good. Sometimes we have to meet back with the other female manager to figure out like, okay, so what is this? Well, this is not working. And I have found that females are very more their communication is better effective. They are more to
More
problem
effective.
solve. Yes,
Okay.
honestly.
So the people who have the jobs that are problem solvers typically, or in any of those kinds of roles, the great majority of them are males. They're not women. I mean, we got statistics. We got
So
statistics.
you just
This
asked
is not
me
the
about the
gospel
men
according.
and the women in the workplace because you wanted me to step outside of it. And I'm just telling you, I work in the medical field and I found that women are like but that's off topic. So but as far as communicators, the people that are overseeing certain areas, I found that when I leave a meeting with a female, it's clear. I understand what I'm doing. And sometimes with a guy, it is too direct where you be like, da 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 da. And it's like, well, I need this broken down a little bit more. And it's not that I lack the understanding, it's just that sometimes the communication is not as thorough. And I don't
I
know,
can understand that.
I don't find that the women are all over the place. I don't see that one day she's telling me I need to do this, and then the next day she changes her mind. I don't know that. So that's why I
So
said I can't deny that y'all have experienced that. I just don't know women like that. Like
I want to throw it
All
your
back to
year long.
Mac. I want to throw it
your
back to
sister
Mac
is
and
not like
Sean.
that. My sister's not like that, and I don't know women like that.
I want to throw it back to Mac and Sean because when we're talking about situations where we're dealing with the opposite sex in the workplace or in any kind of business, I want to know what their experience has been because I've had male management and female management throughout my career. You work in the medical field, and I work in the technical field. And sometimes this is just me. We have the 100,000-foot view. We have the goal or the objective, and we just want it done. And a lot of times, maybe women might be a little bit more detailed and they get into the minutia, whereas we're considering more of the end game. Is it done? We don't care as much sometimes as about how it gets done, as long as it gets done. So you're right in that regard. I could see some of those details that a woman may crave at times, a man may be lacking in providing the detail. So I'll give you that. But I want to know what Mac and Sean have to say along those lines.
Mac, you want to go first?
Uh,
Okay.
I can. I've had a lot of management from both sides. I just fall back on this. Maybe because I'm a guy, I just understand the nuance of our communication. It's not as like I said in the beginning, it seems all over the place with women. And again, I may not be the women that Nay knows, but the women I've had to work with, their communication. Now it depends. If it was a directive that came down, then they can get that point across. But when it has to come to you have to use nuance, I feel they give too much. It's like just get me from point A to point B without point A1, point A2, point A3, point A4. Let's just get straight to it. So in that sense, I just like male communication. It just seems more direct. It seems like we're gonna, like Ray was saying, it's like let's get it done. That's the bottom line. As long as it gets done, everybody's good.
Look, at my job, we do have a woman boss. Okay. And so for the most part, I know my job. So communication is fine when it comes to, okay, this is what I need you to do. Okay, fine, I'll do it. But then when there's a problem and we have to do problem solving, then that's when the emotion part comes out. And one thing I notice about us as men, we handle pressure better when it comes to these type of situations. Okay, so it's like, I told you to put that there. Yeah, you did tell me to put that there, but the person under you that was here when you wasn't here told me not to put that there. Okay, well, put it there, like I said. So it's like you don't know who to listen to. But if you have somebody here, you have the woman at the top, and you have people under them that are following her orders. Okay, so I'm going to who's ever in the chain. All right, she's at the top of the chain, not looking at anything, and it's like, well, I told you to do this a week ago. Well, yeah, the man that works for you told me to not do that. So the pressure of not having something done causes her to crack a lot. So it's like, okay, the problem solving goes away. Now it's like it's emotional. I thought I told you to do this a week ago. Like, yeah, you did tell me to do that, but you wasn't even here for the issue. So we had to make a quick decision. But all in all, I know my job. So, if you want to solve a problem, it should be a whole lot easier than you being cracking under this pressure and being emotional. We should be able to solve that. And so what we have to do a lot of times is we have to read minds. So a lot of that, us being bottled up, is us reading the room, which is what a lot of women don't do. They don't read the room to see what's really going on. So yeah, I don't know. Like, I still think we're better communicators. But I still think our job is harder though, because we have to read minds sometimes. We have to be super analytical, and sometimes we have to bottle things up because the ultimate problem we feel like is going to be solved by us. We're never going to get it through to you. So talking to you at this point is senseless. But how can I solve this problem on my own? Because that's what's going to have to happen. I'm going to have to solve this on my own to make it better for both of us in the end, to resolve this. So we do a lot of work, and talking is just a part of it for us.
I feel you on that. I feel you on that. And I get everything you're saying. So, Boogie, what you got? And then we're going to finish on Nay. Since Nay's outnumbered, we're going to finish on Nay. So, go ahead, Boogie. Yeah.
That we spoke about it in dealings that are not as personal business. Now, switching gears into the romantic kind of male female communication that goes on in a relationship.
That's a whole.
That is on that level. I still think men are better communicators, because we might not say as much, but what we say is pertinent to the issue at hand. We might not say as much, but what we say is going to be based upon less feelings and more facts about whatever the scenario is.
We're wired differently. It's in our DNA.
I concur. So you're saying we're wired to be better communicators. I concur. I concur.
No, and it's unfortunate. Maybe that's why that's why I'm very, and I can see now that I hear you guys talking. That's why I'm very particular about the females I be around. I cannot deal with what you guys are talking about. I couldn't deal with it. And it's so funny though, because I even told my son, like, learn to read the room, learn to, that's important. I like to listen to people, when they're talking and stuff, so I can read them and read the room and stuff, and then do it. And I do not, the few women that I talk to, I could not, that stuff y'all talking about, I could not. One thing I do like about Boogie's sister is that she's like, no, that's not going to work for me. And my sister does the same thing. And I had to learn that with my boys, like my communication has to be like, what did I say to do on Tuesday? It's Tuesday. Let's get it done. So that's how I feel. So I don't, maybe y'all should, switch up, like be particular about the females y'all interact with like me, because that's crazy.
I'm blessed. I'm blessed with that though. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sean.
Okay, it's different when we're talking to each other though. Okay, as men, like Boogie, if I come around you and I say something that's out of pocket, you're gonna check me instantly,
immediately.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
but women, they encourage that type of behavior with each other. Women don't check each other like we do.
I do not, and that's the thing. That's why I love my brother Joe was like that, and literally he was like, I thought, after I had my second child, I was ready to wear a crop top, and he was like, And I was like, and he was like, See, that's what I need. I don't need to be looking like no fool out there. So I changed the gear. I cannot deal with that.
But it's not your brother.
Do you think one of your sisters would have stopped you?
That's what I was about to ask.
That's what I'm saying. Now, my sister is like that. I remember I had my third child, and she came around to see the baby, and she's not used to it because I work out, and she hit my fat on my back, and she said, "What is this, girl?" And I was like, "Dang, can I get 6 weeks to heal?" So they can talk to me like that because my personality is like that. So that's why I say when I genuinely say you guys should be. That's so sad that you guys have to experience that. I could never talk to females.
I'm gonna tell you that,
that.
I know we got to switch the subject, but how many? I know me and Joe. We got daughters. Sean, you got a daughter?
I got all girls, man. One boy.
So I know with raising a son versus raising a daughter, there's a hell of a lot more talking and communication that is required in just raising a girl as opposed to raising a boy. Not that they don't both need good communication, but one just requires a hell of a lot more.
Yeah.
So that's that. I still stand by men.
I have 3 boys.
I
have 3 boys.
You gotta handle your girls a little bit more dedicated.
Yeah, but I have 3 boys. I swear, for goodness, all that damn talking. Oh, excuse me. That I have to talk. I have to reiterate. I have to tell them. And then if I ask them for feedback, let's say I say, "Hey, listen, your room need to be done by Sunday. You need to wash this. You do this. It's Sunday, and it's not done." I'm sorry, did I not explain it? And then I have to use more words. You see what I'm saying? Like, I have to use more words then. Like, it's Sunday. Your room's supposed to be clean. Give me that phone until your room is clean. So I don't know what y'all talking about. I have 3 boys.
I like this example. I'm going to take it to my childhood. My mom's going to come in and do what you did. My dad's going to grab me by the back of my neck and walk me into the room and say, "I don't want to see your face until you do what I told you to do." It's going to be one sentence.
One sentence, that's it.
And he's going to get it done quicker. I'm going to get it done immediately because we believe in stopping the world. Everything stopped right now. I'm not waiting. I'm not giving you time. I don't need you to give me your phone until you get it done because I'm going to
That's communication.
I'm just telling you.
That's
He didn't want
communication.
feedback.
Your dad did communication plus physical. That's not the same. That's not a good communication.
No. That means you don't believe that physical actions can be a form of communication.
That's communication.
If body language can be a form of communication, he didn't have to grab me by my neck. He does that one time. All the other times is he says, "Are you gonna make me get up?" That's all I needed to hear.
Women use that when y'all communicate with kids by saying one sentence. Don't let me tell your father.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
And why
That's
is that?
getting
And
up.
why do they do that, Joe?
Why they do that? Why they do that, Nate? I didn't Nate answer that one. Why they do that?
Because y'all crazy. Y'all always think that physical communication.
Because we get results.
Because y'all think that
Because
physical
that's the
communication
big
is
one.
the key. Let me tell you, can I just tell y'all sidebar? Let me tell you that I had a lot of conversations with my boy children. And they didn't start really like being free to talk till they became like men. And I'm just telling you that the parenting that they shared and the things that they share, it's even though y'all that aggression is what you guys are taught, they don't really like it. I mean, it did produce.
We don't care about what you like.
But
we
I'm
care
just
about
saying,
it's about the results. All we care about is, did we get it done?
Yes.
Yeah,
but
you don't have to like it.
We don't care if you like it. It's not about liking it.
Let
me say this. Let me say this. And then I gotta say this because I'm gonna forget. I'm getting older now. I'm 54. Okay. The reason why is because at the end of the day, we are looking about getting it done, getting to the finish line, and that's all that really matters. And I know that, maybe it might not be popular to hear this, but women have this privilege a little bit in life of, well, but it has to feel good. Men are raising men to understand sometimes you got to go to work when it don't feel good. Sometimes you got to go do some shit because it's your responsibility. You don't got to like it. 9 times out of 10, you're going to do a bunch of shit because it's your job. It's not about if you like it, if you feel like it. That's called discipline. When you talk about working out, people don't always want to work out, but sometimes they go do it because they know they need to work out. It's not about what they feel like or what they want to do or if they're in the mood. No one gives a shit about that in real life. And knowing that as men raising boys to become men, we need them to be prepared to get out of that weak mindset of, well, I don't, it's not about how you feel. No one can, the world is not going to care
though. See,
about
now I'm
how
gonna say
you
feel. I feel like you cheated on that question when you asked that. So I feel like when you said, I have a girl and a boy, and you use the example that your mom would come in and do what I did, and then
No, we hear you.
My audio keeps going in and out.
The girl came in and you say you have to overtalk, but then you had the boy child. And then you say your dad came in and you said he not only used communication, but that's cheating. That's not that is now you want to put in physical stuff. And see, that's cheating.
Hold up. You missed the very last part of that. So not only are we better communicators, we're better listeners, because you missed this part that I'm about to tell you. He came in and did that and would only have to do that one time. And then the rest of the time, all he has to say is, what did I, how many times I wanted to go be fly, hang out with my friends and do something. He was like, you haven't cut the grass.
No, it's not like that. I didn't say it's soft. I was like, why in the devil? And, using profanity. And then I, will say it that way. I'm not a soft, person when it comes to authoritation. But he still got up and he still did it. I didn't have to do aggression.
He would say to me, do you want me to get up? The first time he might grab you by your neck, like, go ahead and get in there and get this done. That's just since you confused, since you're lost, let me put you in. Now with my daughter and with my sister, the exact same man raised my sister. He never laid a hand on her. He never gave her a spanking. He never did any sort of physical discipline.
I would turn the Wi-Fi off. I was hands on where I would. Yeah, what you say?
His tone alone was all. that was
Still,
needed.
but I would turn the Wi-Fi off, or I would turn the thing off so they have no choice to. I just wasn't physical with it. It still was like a physical thing. It just wasn't, because my hand hurt. These are grown men with muscles, so my
Exactly.
hands were hurt.
Exactly.
I tried it one time when I
so
just like get up, and
so after a
my
certain
hand,
point, it
my
don't hurt them.
hand.
After a certain
Right.
Right.
point, that
So
doesn't
I
that
would
tactic no
then I
longer
learned
works.
other methods where I would turn the Wi-Fi off. Oh, it's not done. Turning the Wi-Fi off. Oh, where's your keys? You can't drive the car. So I wasn't like an overly wordy person. So I was listening, as you stated. It's just that, once you put the physical, he pushed you up, by the shoulders and said, go do it.
But
I
you
kind of got
keep
lost.
skipping over the caveat of that's only on the initial go. The rest of the time, you don't want to feel that burn again. You don't want someone to grab you by the back of your neck again. So he said all he has to do moving forward is say, "Are you going to make me get up?" I said I needed this to happen.
But
And
but but what you're
Yeah.
talking but what you're talking about is the tactic I have to use because I have girls. Okay. So I'm not gonna just come in the room and just I do Wi-Fi turn off for my girls.
Because
You
you
know what I
have
mean?
to,
Because I
right?
have to, because I'm
But
not gonna
would you do
snatch
that?
my
Would you
babies
do it
up.
with a son? Would you do it with a son of the
Nah,
same age?
I'm sweeping the floor with him immediately. Okay. I tell him
Getting
look, I'm mad
gender.
because I don't have more boys to sweep the floor with.
No, because you know what though? But guess what? God is building you to be an even better communicator because
Communicator,
Yeah,
that's
that's
right.
what it is.
you've been
More
Right.
tasked
patience.
with something that you can't use that aspect. So you have to
Right.
pull it from
Girls are better communicators, so it's challenging
no.
you to communicate
No,
more.
no,
Good
because
point.
again, you're missing a
Good
point.
point.
You're missing a point. We just want it done. So I'm not going to do all that talking with a male because I need it done now.
Right.
We are forced to take the long route, the arduous route, the talkity talk emotions route with women because we're not going to abuse a female. It's
Right.
not because that route is better or we prefer it. It's just the only option we have in dealing with a female. Same thing I had to convey to my son versus my daughter because she was older. I was like, hey, I was prepping him in advance when she was a teenager and he was under 10. I was like, you see all this talking I'm doing with your sister? Don't think that when you be at her age, it's going to play out the same for you. You're a boy. I'm going to handle it totally differently.
Mm-hmm.
I gave him the precursor or the warning to know what you're seeing her get away with and go through, and I got to tell her 10 times, you're getting one, and then I'm going to make you do it. And I'm going to apply the pressure so that you rather do it than feel the pressure.
What you got, Sinead, for the last comment before we move to the next?
I agree. And then it's like you made it about gender. So I get it.
This is called Battle of the Sexes.
Right. I know, but it's like you're
sexy.
saying it as if that is the case when it comes to it. But I just feel like, yes, it might challenge you to use different words. But I found that y'all sometimes when you manhandle and just say go do it, that a lot of times it's done, but then I have to go behind and do it a little. It stopped working, So I get it, but I understand. I feel for you guys if y'all have to deal with I want communication. I would love a person that can communicate, and then we sitting there for hours. That's how the old days when you sat on the phone for like 3 hours and the sun coming up. That's all right. So I like communication, but I feel for you guys. I don't want that in my world. Pray for y'all.
We're gonna leave it. We're gonna leave it right there. Let's go ahead and move to the next topic. But I like how you standing your ground and standing on your square, Nate. So let's go ahead and move to the next topic. Let's go ahead and move to the next topic.
You a struggling guy, you broke. But if you a struggling woman, you strong and independent. Now if a guy going on double dates and so forth, oh, he's cheating. Now if a woman going double dates, oh, her options is just open. A lady break up with a man, oh, she deserved better. But when a man break up, oh, he wasted her time. Huh? When a guy is rude, he's toxic. But when a lady is rude, it's mood swings. Be a plus size guy, they gonna call you fat, Biggie Smalls, all types of Now if you a plus size woman, oh, you just chubby, little chunks. Woman set standards, oh, that's just preference. A man set standards, oh, he's a narcissist. What? Make it make sense. This is some delusional ass feminist. I don't get it. Really feel for y'all men, because it's like y'all can't have nothing. And I'm a woman saying this. I feel y'all. This is like, what? The do I know, right? It's your girl Key. I'm just giving you advice. Up to you, motherfuckers, if you want to follow. Wake up, my kings and queens. I'm out.
Oh man.
Y'all got what y'all got.
Look, that's the type of woman that most women can't be friends with. Because that's what I was talking about in the last topic, right?
Right.
The woman is gonna check her homegirl without us being there.
Right.
That part right there. Yeah, kudos to her.
Well,
Okay.
these are double standards that she pointed out. I really
Right.
want to know if Nay thinks these double standards were accurate.
Not all of them.
Which ones? Which ones weren't accurate?
She was talking so fast. Which one would you like for me to address? Give me one.
I mean, I don't. As far, I'll pick one that I think jumped out at me, which was if a man is someone who has standards, he's a narcissist. But women, they just I can't quote her verbatim, but it wasn't a negative connotation to it. It was like, oh, she's just trying to like do good for herself.
Listen, hey, real quick, if y'all want to run the clip back, we definitely
Do
can.
it again.
I think we should.
Because she said a lot. She said
She
it
did.
fast. For the panelists and for everybody watching, let's run that one more time. She did her thing. Let's run that one more time.
Struggling, you a struggling guy, you broke. But if you a struggling woman, you strong and independent. Now if a guy going on double dates and so forth, oh, he's cheating. Now if a woman going double dates, oh, her options is just open. A lady break up with a man, oh, she deserved better. But when a man break up, oh, he wasted her time. Huh? When a guy is rude, he's toxic. But when a lady is rude, it's mood swings. Be a plus size guy, they gonna call you fat, Biggie Smalls, all types of shit. Now if you a plus size woman, oh, you just chubby, little chunks. Woman set standards, oh, that's just preference. A man set standards, oh, he's a narcissist. What? Make it make sense. This is some delusional ass feminist. I don't get it. Really feel for y'all men, because it's like y'all can't have nothing. And I'm a woman saying this. I feel y'all. This is like, what? The do I know, right? It's your girl Key. I'm just giving you advice. Up to you, motherfuckers, if you want to follow. Wake up, my kings and queens. I'm out.
Girl Key.
I don't know. I feel like I've been lived a sheltered life. I don't know this double standard that, a lot of it, but I'm open to listen to you guys. I feel like everybody has a right to have a preference. And I think that people are more critical on females. I would never call a big woman chubby. If she's fat, she's fat. But if oh guys, that probably wasn't nice. I'm saying I don't believe in the double standards when it comes to that. I've seen men be more comfortable in their chubbiness, and then like I'm probably won't go through the yard and I see them out and they're mowing the lawn, they have no shirt on, they just out with it. And if a woman with a crop top on and she has a big belly like that, a man would be like, oh, she needs to cover up. So I don't understand that part. And I think a man should have preference. I'm raised, maybe because I'm biased, because I have to be boys. I feel like I told them, act like you're going to a car dealership. Just because that shit is pretty don't mean anything. Lift up that hood. That shit could be nasty. So I don't believe in the double standards. I don't think you're a narcissist because you have preference. I like a guy to have preference. That means you don't, just because the lights is off, you ain't sleeping with, a toad. So I think that preferences are good either way. And I don't think that you're a narcissist is very rough because you have preferences. A narcissist is, to call him a narcissist because he have preferences. No, but I don't believe in, I don't know that. I don't believe in that. So I don't agree, but I'm pretty sure you guys are going to say you're living in a bubble.
You do. You live in a bubble. You're in a bubble.
Go ahead.
That's all I have to say. You're in a bubble.
What you got, Matt? What you got, Matt?
All right. As far as the fat guy, I tell him put a shirt on too. It doesn't matter. Not just the woman with her stomach hanging out. If he got his stomach hanging out, I'm like, he need to put a shirt on. So a lot of those double standards are kind of extreme. I kind of agree with Nay on this one. This hasn't really been, and plus I'm older. When I was younger, it wasn't like, oh, it's just so much about being broke. We was broke when I was in my 20s, and everybody just understood we was broke, and nobody judged you for it. You had to just come up. That's what it was about. It just seems
Hey,
like now.
Mac, real quick. Nowadays, they want these boys to be millionaires at 18. Shit is crazy.
Exactly. Exactly.
But Mac,
That's it
Well, go ahead.
exactly. It's like you have to build something. It's
Yeah.
like I think a lot of it has to do with the way the culture's set up is that you have to follow things in steps. Things don't just happen overnight. It's not built in a day. It's like these rappers, because they rap, they get the money quick. Regular life don't work like that. You
let me
don't
ask
just get
Mac a
money quick.
question.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you a question, Mac. Okay, so you're right with what you're talking about, but I want to kind of distill it down to something that specifically she mentioned. When a man is struggling, he is not perceived in the same fashion as a woman who's going through the same economic struggle. There are a myriad of reasons that people could struggle. However, typically a woman is, oh, well, she's, a strong woman who's out here doing the best she can, and the man is a bum.
Right.
That's what society tells them. Where the double standard or the problem lies is we're not perceived in the same way, although we're in the same predicament. A man is judged much more harshly, especially in terms of economics. This plays out even when it comes to successful men versus successful women. A successful man, when he gets with a woman, if he's not struggling, he doesn't care as much about her money. But a successful woman is going to say, hey, I'm doing good. And even though I'm doing good, I'm not here for the greater good of all. You still need to be able to match or take care of me.
Yeah.
Right.
Or else her girlfriends or her circle of female companions would be like, why would you get with someone who's doing less than you? Women typically have more of an issue of quote unquote dating down economically than a man. That's why you'll see a man who's maybe making really good money get with a woman who doesn't really have a career like that, because we want different things from each other.
Yeah, we don't care.
But I think you kind of answered your own question, though. It is a double standard, but life is double standards. There's always double standards.
I'm cool with the double standard.
Hold on, let me say something. Life is double standards, and yes, as a man, you're going to be looked at as a bum if you're not making nothing happen. But a lot of that has to do with your potential. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times women could like when they not to get off the topic completely, but like when they were like there was this thing about you can't go to what's the name of it? Cheesecake Factory for a first date.
Oh, I remember that.
My answer to that has always been if she likes you enough, she'll go anywhere you want to go.
Yep.
And if she likes you enough, she's not gonna care about your money. You know what I'm saying? She'll watch you build up. There's a lot of women that will still get with you and you have nothing, and then they see you blossom. And then that's when you go get a younger woman. And I'm just playing.
Thank you. And that's when the problem comes. Yeah. I agree. I agree with that, Max. That I don't believe that you can't come up. You have to have potential. You can't sit around and just act like you just want to get up and then exist. Potential was there.
Just play the game all day.
Yeah, like that would get on my nerves. But if I saw the person getting up every day, showing up and was like, yeah, I'm going to own this business, and they was talking about it, and that's good. Like, and then was working towards it. That's good. But I really wouldn't want to be, no lie, around a, like a cocky person who made it, and then it wasn't humble, and then just was just act like that they want to use their money like that. I would prefer someone to get in this whole idea of these kids growing up 18, 19, this perception that you have to have this type of money is why, off topic, depression and all this mental health issues going on. It's too much pressure. And I just think that I don't know where this double standard is coming from, But a woman not
Okay.
having goals too is just as unattractive as
It
a
is.
guy.
All right. So,
You know?
I have a
Real quick,
question for
Boogie,
you, Nate.
real quick, Boogie, before you ask your question, just caveat of what Nate said. What happens nowadays is women and what Max said, women who can't even afford to go to these places or to buy these things that they want this man to do for them, and then they get
Yeah.
mad, try to shame the man because the man just doesn't want to be another man on her list. I've actually seen people sit around and call different dudes and just talk about getting their nails done to see which one is going to volunteer to pay for her nails. And whoever pays for her nails and then this and that, that's the one she's going to go out with tonight. When a man is around you enough to know that that's the person that you are, do you really think that man want to be the next person on your list to just give his money to
Yeah.
someone who
Nobody
really
wants
don't
to
give a
be a
damn about?
trick.
And then do you
Yeah.
think he cares that you saying, oh, well, you can't do this, to how you try to shame him after that? He don't give a fuck. He see who you are. So that type of ignorance too is the double standard in it. If it was the other way around, we wouldn't do no shit like that. Is this is what it is.
I tell my boys that, like, if
Right.
she shows that type of shows that type of behavior, I was about to say, let her go. You know, let her go. That she showed you who. Don't be bitter. Don't be mad. Let her go.
Yeah.
Good. Go find you the next one that's gonna run through you. Good. Bye. So
Facts.
that's good.
Well, what's your question, Boogie?
All right. So, and this is to everyone on the panel, because we're talking about the double standard. So I'm gonna give you a scenario, and I want Nay to answer it first because she's the only female on here right now. You have an individual. We'll just start off not saying if it's a man or a woman yet. You have an individual. They're making good money. Let's say they're in the six figures plus, because that's the dream for all these kids or women. When you watch the pop the balloons and all that stuff, they want 6 feet tall, 6 figures, etc. This is not what I'm saying. This is what you see.
Right. We got it.
You get somebody in that category, right? And you see it and it's a man versus you see it and it's a woman. Let's say they can afford to live the lifestyle they want and take care of their mate. A man would be looked down upon by all of that woman's family if she was the breadwinner taking care of that household and everything in it. Even if it wasn't a strain for her to do, even if it was like, yeah, we live a modest life, I make $100 and whatever $1,000, and it's just, it's not a big deal. We don't have any kids. Well, what does he do? He keeps the house and takes care of everything. The average father of that daughter is going to flip his lid and be very upset. Now, if it was his son, he might say, well, just be careful, make sure you get her to, but you're not going to look at it as intensely, or the society as a whole is not going to scrutinize that man for being a provider and taking care of the woman. It's going to be seen as, what's the big deal? She takes care of him in other ways. And she keeps that. Maybe he doesn't do any
How
housework.
fine is she?
Maybe he covers all the money and she covers all the household stuff. But my point is, we don't treat men and women equally because we're not equals. We're equally important, but we are not equals. And a lot of women don't want to hear that they're not equals. We're equally important, but we're not equals. So men and women, I want to know, do you look at it the same as if it's, let's say, your daughter who's the breadwinner and taking care of a man who may not work? Are you going to treat it the same as if it was your son being the breadwinner, taking care of a woman? And please be honest, because I know I'm not. I wouldn't look at it the same way. I'm going to look at it totally differently. And I'm going to be more critical of the man who's letting my daughter pay the bills than the girl who's letting my son pay the bills.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's just society right there. I mean, that's how we came up. We came up to be providers. So if you see somebody, if your daughter has a dude sitting on the couch and taking care of the house, and he has no ailments, I mean, there's nothing physically wrong with him to not be going out there and working and busting his butt, then yes, as men, as fathers, we're going to be looking down upon her, and we're going to be
okay. But why wouldn't you look at it the other way if it was your son doing that for the girl? Maybe you would. Maybe you would.
No, I'm not saying that. I would actually. I wouldn't, dog. I wouldn't look down on it. It just is what it is. I wouldn't.
You'd be cool with it.
I provide that household, so fuck yeah, I'd be cool with it. The fuck, well, I'll be. You can't. I don't think that being a hypocrite is something that someone should be to esteem to be. So I'll be a fucking hypocrite if I look at my son for having a woman that's taking care of the house and the kids and she doesn't work.
Nay.
I agree. I was when I was married.
If he can do it. If he can do it.
Yeah, when I was married, I was but I couldn't sit on my ass and not do anything. I was very when they're smaller kids, I found myself like being not a house. Oh, I hate that word. I wasn't working, not by choice. But it all depends when it comes to that gender role. When it comes to that, it depends on what is working for the kids. I would not look down on a man if the kids are smaller.
What if there's no kids?
No, if the kids are smaller and she made more money.
What if there's no kids? It's just them.
No kids? No, not a female or a male. You have to have aspirations, and I don't.
So if your son came to you and said, "Mom, I make $250,000 a year," let me
whether
finish.
male or female.
Let me finish. I get that's where you're going, but I want to present a specific scenario.
Okay. No.
$250,000 your son is making. He doesn't have any kids with this girl. She's living in his house. She has no job, but she handles all of the domestic duties around the crib. And he's like, hey, I don't got to worry about that. When I go home, there's a hot meal ready. The house is clean. My laundry's done. I don't do laundry, but I pay for everything. Because we praise these athletes who do it all the time. We praise these entertainers who do it all the time. And women, the average woman, not you, because you're far from the average woman, but the average woman is like, bravo, you got a real one there, girl. Wish it was me.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Male or female, nobody should be dependent on anyone if they don't have small kids in the house.
That's not what these girls are being taught, is all I'm saying. That's not what society is teaching.
I don't believe, I couldn't. I wouldn't put that much faith into a human being if I didn't have any small children. Now, if small children is involved, yes. But if you're just single, I would not put that. No, I would not. My male child would not be sitting on his butt, even if the female was able to financially afford it. He's not. If I even saw that.
Oh yeah, males.
But even if it was my female, if it was a female and my daughter, she will not let no man take care of her.
Okay, Joe. No kids, Joe. Is your answer the same?
With no kids?
No kids.
She got to be doing something. Like I would tell him, like, I mean, is she going to school? I mean, what is she doing? You know what I'm saying?
I just gave you the scenario.
Like
he's like, yo, I love her. She makes me feel good, and I can afford everything we need. She ain't got to work.
You know what though? I'm gonna be very honest. If that's what he want to do, that's what he want to do. If it end up goes bad, he found up the hallway. It's something he gonna learn from.
Now, if it was your daughter and she said the same shit, you'd be like, "Help! Thank you." That's all I'm getting at.
That's what I said. Like my daughter would not do that.
Man, am I gonna get the answer to this jump?
Yes,
yeah, because I want a piece of this too.
It's like y'all that went off on it, gonna jump on back and forth, man. Let me get. I'm gonna put it going off Ray's scenario. $250,000 a year, I wouldn't look down on anybody that didn't work. Whether it was the woman that didn't work and he made $250, or the man didn't work and she made $250. As long as it works for them, it doesn't bother me at all. It's not up to me to be the judge and jury for their relationship. But $250,000 is an extraordinary amount of money. That's a lot of money. So you don't need two incomes. Regular people need two incomes. If she makes $35,000 a year and he doesn't work, then I look down on him. If he makes well, he makes the same amount, 35 days. She doesn't work. It's a struggle.
What's the
The more money
threshold?
you make, the more money you make, the less you need two incomes. You ought
So
to
what's
do
the
shit. If
threshold?
I make
What's the number
250,
that makes it cool?
I don't know if there's a actual number. It depends on your lifestyle.
Thank you,
If
because
you
that's
can
what I'm looking
maintain
for.
the lifestyle that y'all want to live, yeah, if you can maintain the lifestyle that you want to live and you both don't have to work, it's cool no matter who doesn't work.
Because I'm
Now,
gonna be
if
real
you're
with you.
struggling and you can't pay the bills, then we need more incomes.
Yeah, Sean, you up? My bad. You next.
I'm cool. If I'm making $250,000 and I got a woman in the house, first of all, domestic duties come with children. How much can you mess up a house if you win it by yourself all day long? How much do you have to cook for one person coming home from work? So you don't have to work,
Right.
but you got to be out of the house
Right.
doing something, because
Doing
there's nothing
something.
for you to do in the house if there are no children there. This is the whole reason for quote unquote domestic duties. So we can do one of two things: either find you a hobby outside the house, or we start having children.
So
Point blank.
what about people who have come into this money in another stage of life where they're past the childbearing age? And let's say I'm 54, so my wife's slightly older than me. My goal is to retire her. I don't want her to work.
Okay, that's fine.
That's my
Yeah,
goal.
yeah.
We ain't gonna have no kids.
But you already have children, right?
I do already have children,
Yeah.
but
Did she?
but they're not from her.
Okay, but did she raise children?
Her child, yeah, her son is grown.
Okay, look, if she at that age and she got this, she put her work in, she got the right to retire. But I'm
But the
talking.
lifestyle that's being provided is gonna come from one income.
So let me be clear. Let me be clear first.
Women, they
Are we
judge women differently for doing that for a man than they judge a man for doing that for women.
okay? So
Oh,
let me be clear though. Are we talking about a couple that has never had children, or are we talking about the children had left the house? They're
It's
grown and they
not. It
left.
don't have. It don't even have nothing to do with children. It has to do with, is it okay for a man to be the sole breadwinner and a woman do nothing, as opposed to the woman being the sole breadwinner and the man do nothing?
No, everybody has to do something. I've been on both sides of the fence, okay? But I've taken care of the children while my wife was at work. But that was me coming home from work. So it was like a switch out. The schedules matched up to the point where we didn't have to send our children to a daycare or something like that.
And no, regardless of the amount of money you have, you're saying she has to do something.
Say it again. Yeah.
Regardless of the amount of, you're a millionaire, she still got to go do something.
Yeah, if I'm a millionaire,
look,
if I'm a millionaire, nobody's doing anything.
Yeah,
I mean,
see
so
that
let's be
laugh?
honest.
Okay, right. And so that's what I'm saying. It's like we got people who don't necessarily need that much, maybe for whatever their standard of living is and the lifestyle that they want. They might not need the 250,000. There's women who don't work and their man makes 100,000.
Right, but first of all, I don't make 250,000. So I'm based off of what we call my income is low. Okay, I'm what you call broke. Okay, I'm gonna put myself in the broke category. For me, it's about a fit of survival at this point. You know what I'm saying? So this is where we at. I don't know about 250,000. If I had 250,000, I would have to learn how to live that type of lifestyle of a person that's 250,000. So I might need some training. What I know is we both got to go to work because we got to survive and we got to pay bills.
Right.
Now, if my daughter is taking care of a dude or he's living with her, he has to work. He has to contribute some type of way, whether it be him taking care of the children, keeping the house clean. That's what I mean by domestic. Like, there's no reason for you to be in the house, man or woman, all day long if you're not doing something, you're not taking care of children or something, because there's not enough work in the house to do.
Okay.
To me, you're just lazy.
So let's say it's not a millionaire. It's your daughter. She makes 150,000. She's a doctor, a lawyer.
Man, these some great jobs.
Yeah,
Some
they
well
are
He
paid.
great.
wholesome.
What I'm trying to say is what I'm doing these scenarios, Mac, because we always gauge it differently for men and women. It's about double standards, and my overall belief is they don't come down on men. Men are, it's kind of like, hey, he wants to take care of her. What's the big deal? So what? Whether
I
he's
feel like
with
that with
what,
women though. If she wants to take care of him, what's the big deal?
I know you do, but you and Nate on this one are somewhat maybe of anomalies. I'm talking about society and what the world we live in, not our own
Society's fucked
personal
up.
feelings. Society is fucked up, and that's what I'm saying is like this double standard of being the breadwinner or provider much more heavily falls upon a man. A woman doesn't ever have to strive to be that, but a man almost, that's his default. You're supposed to do this, and if you don't, you
Traditional
ain't
role.
right. And I'm not against that.
I'm not
Yeah,
against it
Honestly,
either.
I'm not
traditional role.
against it.
I'm not.
I am gonna look at a man differently than I'm gonna look at a woman.
That's why I don't like, like I feel like people, the relationships is between like how you raise your children. That is people should mind their business. If it works for them, it works for them. And if it
Right
doesn't,
on.
it doesn't. But I just feel like that's when in that relation, the only thing that it would bother me if I saw my sons and I went to their house and they wasn't working, and if they was taking care of a female and she just sat around the house all day. I think that male or female, they both need to be doing something. They, whether or not, especially if it doesn't matter, I wouldn't want my female daughter to be taken care of. I would like for her to have her own goals, her own something, going to school, doing something. I would not want her to walk in there, in that environment. It doesn't matter about money. I do think that sometimes when people do have a certain amount of money and they put themselves in that role, it can it kind of fails in that aspect. It starts off that way, but it kind of fails. And I feel like that you be in the world, but not of the world. And just because society has these, I mean, like if you look at all the stuff that they doing, like the prom dates and just looking at that, they coming up, they have money how do these kids have all this money? Where is this coming from? So I just feel like that they're being brought. Yeah, I feel like that this is the way that a lot of these kids are being brought up is all wrong. Even just learn. So I'm not going to pay attention to what society is saying. I like back to the clip that Joel played. I don't know what she's talking about in there. I just feel like the double standards has always been there, but as the world is whirling, it's going down to what the expectations are of a male and a female. But whether I had a son or which I do have 3 boys, and if I had all daughters, I would not. If I saw my niece doing that, I would be like, "Girl, you cannot do that. Do something." Or I would advise her, go to school, don't sit around and wait for this man to cook him dinner, no,
Right. I
we're
agree
not.
with you on that. You should give that kind of advice because people should be self-sufficient. So we are in alignment on that. I'm simply saying that it's harder for men because we do live in a society, in a world where it's not just about our household. There
Well,
are a
that's
lot
why
of
I tell
women
people to mind their business. Like if it's
that's
working for them,
Nah, people not minding
that's
their
fine.
business
That's
now.
fine. You can tell
they
people to
gotta
mind their
need
business.
to.
They're not doing that.
They
You
need
could
to.
tell people to mind their business, and you should tell people to mind their business. I'm just trying to bring it to a more practical way of seeing how it's impacting society. So
Yeah.
yes, your parents can teach you a bunch of things, and hopefully they will get you a foundation that you're going to be able to pull from and not be as influenced by society. But then there are going to be other factors that come into play throughout your life where you're going to be judged, whether you want to be judged or not, based upon how the world sees it outside of your family, outside of your immediate household that you grew up in. Hopefully, you grow up and you start your own household. So you can have children that come from the same parents that have 2 different ways of doing the shit, and they were all taught this,
Just
and they were
like the
taught the
girl.
same thing.
Yeah, but just like the girl said, even the double standard from a man having a preference. I've talked to different men that has a preference on women. That doesn't but it is something about when you waste a person's time. Like, if you know you don't see a future with that person, and she is, you know this, you that's when you are a narcissist and you are wasting her time. But if your preference is, I want a woman to stay home and not work, that's your preference, and that's nothing. That's not you. You're not an asshole. You're not a narc because of that. I don't believe that. And then for a woman to choose, to have different options, I don't believe that she is weighing out her options. I don't believe in a lot of the stuff that she said in the clip. I don't know that. That's not my standard. And I know that for a fact that women are extremely more critical of women who are out of shape than, and
But
men
I
are
can't.
too.
But I can't
Women,
call a woman fat though. You know what I'm saying? So Boogie, I see what your point is. You know what I mean? Like I should be out of love, be like, hey, you getting too big.
Yeah.
But I can't do that.
Yeah, you can.
If
Because
you're
yeah,
with a woman,
because
no,
this is
I
where
can
you're in
do
this
it,
bubble,
but
Nay. You
huh,
didn't hear what he just said. You don't know what. Tell her why. Tell her why, Sean.
I can't do it because she'll never forget that. She'll never forgive it. Okay. To me, I'm being rude if I call you
What will
fat.
her girlfriends tell her when she tells them that you said that to
Girl,
her?
don't worry about that. You just think that's all, man. You know, he don't understand. And you look good,
You
girl. That's
shaking your
fine.
head, but
this
that
is why I
you're
know.
not.
This is how I know I'm not
But
normal, because I feel like if you get with a man and
I
you
got
get with a
I
woman,
got to cut out.
and that you're with a man, you're with a
All
woman,
right, I feel
and
you.
I'm supposed to be looking at this person for the rest of my life. I should be able to tell him he getting too big. I should be able to say we got to go trim it down. Let's do that, and vice versa. I do not believe in that. I don't believe that if you're with this woman, that you cannot tell your spouse that she's getting a little too big, that she needs to trim that down. She needs to get back in the gym. I do not, but I don't believe that. I think it's unattractive to get married and then, unless you have a health issue, to let yourself go and not be able to tell that. Because when I first was dating, you're not gonna look the same prior to before you had children.
right.
But if you don't have a health issue, we need to be actively and proactively being more health conscious. I
But
don't believe, and you should be able to say it.
the problem is this though.
Sean
Okay.
Warren mentioned something important. We are muzzled more often
Exactly.
of giving a critique. We are
Right.
muzzled way more than women are in terms
You
of, especially if
guys,
it's
that's so sad.
it's sad, but
Not me. I speak my
I'm
damn
glad you're
mind. I
getting
don't give a fuck.
enlightened to it, because we are basically fat shaming, body shaming, whatever term is now, whatever the term is they're using. Men are put under the pressure for that way more than
The
women.
only time that I ever had a problem is I found, no lie. Now I'm a fitness, like I love fitness, so I'm gonna work out. But I found the most out of shape men give me advice while working out. I have been out running, and a guy that is
That's
out of
different though.
shape, rolling down the window saying, keep going, and I'm like, your stomach is to the
That's
steering
different. That's
wheel.
different. He was
He's
telling
No,
her
what
to.
I'm
flirting.
That was his
saying
way of
He's
is,
flirting.
flirting.
That ain't
He's
him giving
flirting.
advice.
He didn't
That's
give
him
you
seeing
no
the.
advice.
See, you
what I'm
didn't
saying
read
is,
what even happened.
no,
Reading the room.
what
Reading the
I'm saying
room.
is that that is, I don't know, I have been in a position, and where I have been in a position that I was still in shape after 3 children, and they weren't. And I do not keep my mouth closed. I don't feel like, and I don't care how it went across. I don't care how it
Those
was.
mouths don't get fed,
Woo,
boss.
woo.
And I
Flip
don't,
it, Joe. Flip it.
and vice versa. If I let myself go, that is not when I got in the marriage. He was working out. I was working out. I had 3 kids. I was over 230 some pounds each child. If I can get back in shape, I need you to not look like Santa Claus cousin. And that's how I feel. So I'm going to say that. Do I have to say you look like Santa Claus cousin? No. But I'm going to tap that stomach and be like, you're getting out of control now. That's what we got to do. That's not good. That's not attractive, because then you're in a situation where I got to look at that all the time. every
We
day.
agree with you.
But Joe,
We agree with you.
Joe, it
We're
goes
just
back
saying
to
we're expected to have tougher skin. And if a man says that they approached it in a way that you said that you would approach it to your husband, then we're going to be told we're toxic, we're body shaming, that's abusive. We're going to be called all kinds of things. So the double standard.
That's crazy. And that's why I said I
But
must
it's
have been
true.
in
Do
the
you
bubble.
acknowledge that it's true though?
I don't know that. I
Well,
feel like
you
that
need to get online and listen
I
to
don't
what
want to
other people
associate
are
with
saying.
people. I don't want to associate with people like that because I know that even like one thing that even with Joe, like he would tell me, I would prefer he'd be like, nah, them have me looking crazy out there. Like certain times unless I have a health issue, I don't feel unless I have a health issue, I'm going out this world working out, running. You probably if I even croaked while out running, I'm gonna have a smile on my face. You see what I'm saying?
Are you aware of the
But
artist Lizzo? Have you ever heard of the name Lizzo?
you about to set me up for failure.
No, I just want to. Have you ever? Okay, you've heard of her?
Yeah, I know Lizzo. I mean, I know
Okay.
of Lizzo.
So there was a big deal because she lost a bunch of weight. They questioned if she was using Ozempic or whatever. But before that, men were encouraged to be able to say, well, there's nothing wrong with her dancing on stage with a thong. You should still be able to appreciate her, and you shouldn't come down on her and talk badly about her. You're fat shaming. That is wrong, and how dare you? This is what I mean by and Joe, Sean Wong, correct me if I'm wrong. This sentiment and this movement in society is coming from feminism. Women are doing that. Men aren't promoting this concept. They're trying to effeminize men. They're trying to weaken men. And they're trying to get us to think like what we naturally, instinctually know is somehow toxic. That's why you have the term toxic masculinity, which I think is bullshit.
It's just masculinity.
Hey, I do you one better. I do you one better, right? You talked about Lizzo because some of these women don't even believe it themselves. Let's take it to Monique. All right. We love Monique.
That's a
Monique
good example.
used to do fat women, skinny women jokes all the time. Then
Fat
she
and
lost
fabulous.
weight. Then she lost weight, right?
She lost weight. Yep.
All right. So she didn't say, well, no, I got to get back fat.
There's two things I want to say about
yeah.
that. Two things I want to say about that. Number one, I have talked to women that was big before, and they love to, you know how people like they say fake it till you make it. They always try to act like I love all of this, I love all of that, and then when they lose the weight, they say, I never liked that. Matter of fact, I couldn't see my vagina. Matter of fact, and they do the truth that they never liked it. But while they're in it, they try to pretend like they love it. Now, what I don't like is that I find that a lot of men will use their income and this society as a pass to be overweight. When they haven't bore children, they haven't had any children. Yes, your testosterone goes down, but women go through menopause. So although men are saying, oh, that don't look good, that a woman is like that, I'm not trying to be funny. Most of the time, it is from men who have the same BMI as Lizzo. And for some reason, they're chiming in, trying to act like they're not holding themselves accountable for the weight gain, but yet they are just as big. And that's what I'm saying about the guy that was yelling. Even if he was trying to holler, what made him think that I wanted someone that's above my BMI?
Because, hold on, let me
that's
answer
what.
this.
Oh,
Let me answer this. Let me answer this.
Please.
One, you gotta understand something. There's a lot of men out here who, why would they lose weight when they can get the Beyonce,
right?
Because y'all want the money.
Kelly, because you want the money.
Yeah. That's what I said.
Most women care more about that wallet than they care about that daggone gut or how the man looks.
I hate it.
So
I hate it because at my age,
so of course, hold on. So of course he's gonna see you running down the daggone sidewalk looking like Shorty from Friday, and he gonna try to holler. It just is what it is because he done got 5 or 10 of you already with all his cake, and he trying to get number 6 or 11. You feel?
There's another prime example that we all have seen, and I remember I used to have this argument forever, and it's about men and women and how they can get away with being overweight men and women can't get away with it as much because of the double standard of a woman is judged by her appearance first and a man is judged first not by his appearance. No. He's judged by his wallet. The proof of that is the NBA. And in my argument I used to present to people, I'd say, when you go look at the NBA's men, if they weren't all making that level of money, they probably wouldn't have the wives that they have. When you look at the pictures of the NBA players and their wives. Now, go look at the WNBA players and their husbands. They look more like they match up. They look more like, oh, she could have got him either way. When you look at the NBA players and their wives, you're like, that money helped his ass. Mm-hmm. We know this. We move through life knowing this. Another prime example, any celebrity. Oprah is a baller. Baller, right? We all can admit Oprah is a baller. But brothers ain't trying to really chase her down like that. When a man has enough money, women will impregnate themselves with your sperm because we're judged by our wallets. So this plays over on a smaller scale when you're talking about just regular people. You know what I'm saying? A man might be like, hey, I got a nice car, or I live in a nice house, or I make this much money. Yeah, so what? I got a little gut. Girls are still rocking with me because you're on the female side, more oftentimes than not, women will make a sacrifice on the looks for the stability. And you're shaking your head. I ain't talking about you. You're an anomaly. It's not about Nay. It's about the world we live in.
I gotta breathe. I can't do it. I can't.
You need to talk to your sisters, Nay. You need to talk to your sisters seriously. Okay.
I do. I guess.
You got to school.
Yeah, and I do understand that too because I do feel like how Joel said too, and how you said, and Max, and how Boogie said. Everybody, y'all, it has to be true but I'm just saying. I wish that it was a different way that the society was, where it wasn't that women was paid as much, and then as women get older, it wouldn't be, because I see a lot of women still are still fit and still work out and still health conscious. Yeah, and it's a shame that as a shame that as we get older, we're not viewed the same as if an older man gets older, he's distinguished. But if a female gets older, we're not like that.
That's another double standard. I mean, that's real.
Right. But then that's a big double standard because now, and I'm not trying to be funny, real transparency. I was talking to my sister, and I was like, so I didn't believe in staying in a toxic marriage. But I'm like, now, because I don't want the typical guy, I was like, I might have to date outside my race for the first time in my life because I do not want a person that do not mirror or do not desire to be physically fit or to be health conscious. And I don't want someone who let themselves go physically, mentally, spiritually. I don't want that. So it is a double standard. But then I got to realize too, in my age bracket, that they might want younger women because
that should be the next show because that's very true. Yeah, and it's easier. So it's easier for them.
That. Yeah, definitely. It's easier. They don't have to work as hard for them because their bank account speaks for it, and I might require a little bit more. So I know I do. So
it will be perpetual. It will be perpetually harder.
But that's when you gotta love yourself and be like, it's okay. If I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. It's all good. And that's why you make sure that you tell your girls because the society does look on women differently as they get older, not to sit in the house and let a man take care of you. Have your own, have your own goals and do that, and vice versa. That's why that's important. The double standards cannot be like that. No. So
All right, so what's everybody's final comments on the whole thing, double standards and communicating, before we wrap this up for today?
And man, the money thing was the main topic, but it was a lot of stuff that was said in that video, man, that we could have touched on to bring it home, man.
Right.
But I know money is a sensitive subject for everybody,
Yeah.
but I do understand the double standard.
Yeah.
And it is a big problem, man. It's a big problem that needs to be addressed. But I think personally, me, because the funny thing about it was those two topics were connected. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for the example I used, me not being able to say, you know what, you fat. Okay. Me having to go around that to soften the blow makes me a better communicator.
Yeah.
But the fact that I can't say it at all is the suppression that makes me not want to communicate sometimes. So then when it does come out, it comes out harder than it would have. So harsh that, you know, it could ruin the situation. So a lot of times men trying to, in a sense, trying to salvage the relationship, we'll hold that in because the big thing we want is peace.
True.
We just want it resolved. A lot of times we don't even want to have to go through the conversation of talking about these things. We just want peace. We just want it resolved instantly. So I don't know if y'all did that on purpose, but those two were connected.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right, cool. What you got, Boogie?
I mean, not all men are better communicators than women, but generally speaking, my experience is I can get a direct answer and I can get a clear, concise, facts about a situation. Usually, typically, not 100% of the time, but if I had to bet my money in Vegas,
right,
all the money I got, I'm gonna bet that the man is going to be more concise and less emotional in communication. On the second subject, double standards, they're never going to go away. God, I believe, made men and women different for a reason because we are equally important, but we are not equals. She don't got to do what I got to do. She just got to play her role. And that's it.
Some people don't even like that. What you just said, play her role. What exactly is my role?
Oh man, that's a whole nother show.
Your role is whatever it takes for us to. Your role is whatever it takes for us to be together.
Yeah.
You may have a different role. You may have a different role requirement from someone else, but to fill this slot, you need to play your role because I'm a damn sure only apply for the role that I can fulfill.
Yeah, and it always changes per relationship. You're right. What's up, Nate? Go ahead and get it.
I still think that women who are mentally stable are better communicators than men. And I also believe that the double standards, we did touch on the money, we touched on the body weight, and we also touched on the roles, the gender role. And I still feel like even if it's double standards, I just feel that or I believe that the double standards are always going to be there. But what works for you and your family is totally, it may not work for somebody else. And we have to learn how to tune that out. I do believe that when it comes to the physical part of a person, if you're in a relationship, if you feel like that person is losing or putting on weight and you're not attracted to it, I feel like a therapist or somebody in a medium middle should be involved to communicate that, because it's nothing worse than being silent in a relationship about something and you're not attracted to that person, because that is important. So double standards are not going anywhere, but you have to live your own life and do what's best for you, and and be open, to learn something different. That's the only thing I can say. I don't believe in all these double standards. I don't believe in all of them. I know they exist, but I don't believe in it.
They definitely exist. Definitely.
You see how my communication was there, Boogie?
Yes, and you see what I said earlier. You are an anomaly. You're not. Here's the proof. Go do your own poll. I challenge you to ask 10 women that you just randomly pick that are not of your bloodline, and then come back with the results.
We definitely need to,
Y'all.
we definitely need to do a part two. Matter of fact, go ahead and do that, and we do a part two off that. You know what I'm saying? I think, communicating, like I said before, we wired differently. It's in our DNA. Men are normally fixers, so I do truly believe that men are better at communicating. Women is normally tied to emotions with most women, but some women, like you said, anomaly. It's not. You, Nay, was raised around a whole lot of men.
Yeah.
And
So
that matters. That really
that matters.
It does matter.
As far as the double standards, man, we ain't gonna never. It's always gonna be double standards. And what you said about the whole weight thing, it ain't what you say, it's how you say it. How people work their relationships is what they do. I think that what works for them, just like you said, and people need to mind their damn business. So it is what it is. If they make 250 and she want to stay home and he want to stay home, who the fuck is me to say anything? And that's what I think people need to do. Get out of our business, get more, and we be better off in society. Boom. That's it for today. We definitely gonna do a part two of this. Everybody killed it. Appreciate everybody for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace.
Salute.
Yeah.